Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. First, just want to start off by congratulating our women's soccer program. Mike, Meg, Lubosh, Madison, Trish, and their whole team. Unbelievable accomplishment, winning the Big Ten Conference, undefeated, and looking forward to seeing where they take it next. But really proud of them, and I think for us that have seen them train every day, it's not a surprise. Super talented team, but you still have to put it all together. So congratulations to them. As far as where we are, it's been kind of a one step forward, two step back at times over the last maybe month, a little bit from being banged up. But, I'm happy with our group's mentality in terms of what they're bringing to training every day. We obviously have a big game on Sunday playing Ohio State, who are kind of ending the season on a real high note, beating Penn State and Michigan in their last two games. So it certainly will be a tough match, but we're getting closer to getting back to being fully healthy. So we feel like we've got maybe our best group that we've had available on Sunday that we've had over maybe the last 6 weeks. So, looking forward to the game on Sunday. So shoot away.
We'll start with Christian Dyer, Big Ten Plus.
Hey, Coach, just want to ask housekeeping. Chris Teo played just 35 minutes for you midweek. Any other injury updates? How's everyone looking for Sunday?
Yeah, Chris was just took a knock in our game prior to that. He's healthy to play, but we're trying to look after him a little bit and just making sure we don't put him in a bad situation there. Playing up at UConn is not easy. One, I think they're quite a good team this year, and they're healthy finally. But it's not an easy place to go, traveling up the day before, 3-4 hours, and then just trying to look after the guys. So Chris will be available to play on Sunday, so we feel good about that. Just in terms of the other guys, we've had a couple of guys that missed the midweek game because one was out for yellow cards, Tommy DeVizio, and then we had Joey Zielinski, who was on 4 yellow cards. So we were worried about him picking up a card and not being able to play on Sunday. So had to sit those guys out. But health-wise, guys like Vince coming off his broken cheekbone is playing, but I think he's finally settling in a little bit. It's an adjustment playing with a mask on. With soccer and heading and dealing with all that stuff. So, I think we're kind of close to being as healthy, as I said, as we've been in the last maybe month or so. So I think for the most part, we'll be have everybody available. Richie Barry's kind of a question mark still. Richie had surgery over the summer on a hernia, sports hernia. And even though he's played all season, it's been a struggle for him in terms of recovery. So we didn't play him against UConn either, really to save the travel. Hopefully he'll be available on Sunday, but he's kind of someone we'll have to do some fitness stuff with him tomorrow at training to see where he is.
Go to Eddie Kalegi next, WRSU.
Hi, Coach. I just wanted to ask you, obviously, you mentioned at the beginning Ohio State's a tough team to go against. They struggled out of the gate in the Big Ten, but have really hit their stride over these past couple of games. What are going to be some of the most difficult aspects for you guys to try to contain this Buckeyes team that's playing their best soccer so far this season?
Yeah, I think across the season, I think the vibe with Ohio State, where they were close to being a good team throughout the whole season, but just couldn't win some games that they were in tight games. They've got a couple of special players. Wooten is a sophomore captain player for them who's had an excellent season. I think he's got 6 goals this year. He's somebody we have to deal with and make sure that we try to keep him as quiet as we can with top players like him, where he's going to have his opportunities during the game. We just got to make sure we limit them a little bit. And I just think they're feeling good. I think momentum is a big part of their success right now. They've almost played 2 knockout games in a row, right? They knew they needed to win those games, and but we're kind of in a similar situation where we don't necessarily have to win the game, but at least our futures are in our own hands. So I think we're going to have to be ready to compete. They're a physical team. They're good on set pieces. And then on the attacking side, we got to get the ball down and play. We're at our best when we're connecting on passes and getting numbers forward and moving the ball. So I think we've got to get back to doing that in Sunday's match.
Next question from Dylan McCoy, Daily Targum.
Coach, just wanted to ask a quick question. Orrin Asher left last game in the 86th minute. Do you have any update on his status? And if he's not able to go, would it be Che Kaplan again, or would it be Ori Briscoe?
Yeah, thanks, Dylan. I think he'll be fine. Orrin in the game against UConn just took a really close range shot kind of underneath his arm, and it just caught him on a nerve where his arm kind of went numb. And it was really out of precaution that we pulled him out because he just couldn't get the feeling back in his arm quickly enough. He wanted to stay in the game. He could have stayed in the game, but we just thought it was the right thing. But Orrin trained today. He should be good to go. And yeah, with the other guys behind him, Ori has been struggling a little bit with a slight injury. So Che was the backup goalkeeper on that day. So it'll be more about health of who would go in if Orrin's not healthy. But as of today, Orrin's good to go.
We'll go around the room one more time. Christian, you have one more for Coach?
I always have one more for Coach. Wanted to ask you, Coach, wide play, UConn, 3 times, at least on the first 3 goals, we're kind of down that right channel. All came from wide play, driven balls in. I think the 4th goal was down the left channel, but it may not have been quite as much of a driven ball. Is that a little bit of a concern for you, just the wide play and being able to get some of those speedy players behind your back 4?
Yeah, it's a good point. And I think it was more so tactically we got it a little bit wrong in that, I thought their right back at UConn was very good on the day. He's kind of a winger that they've converted to a right back. We exposed him on one of the goals where we got in behind him and actually scored. But I thought we allowed him to get too far up the field. So it's something that we've talked about already. We can't sit that deep when we're playing against teams that are kind of possession-oriented. UConn's a possession-oriented team. And we just felt that, looking over the tape, we just were too deep. We have to be more aggressive. We have to kind of get our outside backs or wing backs higher up the field and meet them higher up. I think we were just a hair too passive, especially in the second half. We have plenty of numbers behind the ball, but if you're allowing teams to get into your final third without really giving any pressure, we make life easy on them. And you're playing against good players. One reason we play a team like UConn is they have talent, and it mimic some of our Big Ten challenges too. So it's something that we'll learn from, and I expect us to be much better in that category on Sunday.
Anything else, Christian? We'll go one more from Eddie.
Thanks, Christian.
Coach, so of course you mentioned there are some ramifications, of course, with you and Ohio State both competing for some of those final Big Ten spots down around 7th place. Do you think that's going to affect your strategy going into the game, or are you just going to approach it as any other game?
Yeah, it's a good question. No, I think we're just going to approach it like every game. I think you can't go into games and hoping that you tie games. It never works out well if you kind of hope for a tie, especially in college soccer where you're not just playing a 90-minute game. I think then maybe some tactics or some thought comes into it where, hey, but when you're playing matches where there's overtime and it's golden goal, you can't really play for that. And I don't really think many teams go into games in college soccer playing for ties because it never seems to work out that well. So we'll go into the game. It's a home game for us. We're approaching it almost like the first round of a playoff game. I think Ohio State will be approaching it the exact same way. Try to get some excitement about it. Our guys are looking forward to it. It's at home. We've been on the road a little bit here at the end of the season. We had 3 away matches in a row, so it hasn't been easy on our guys with travel and school. So I think they're looking forward to playing at home. We're playing before the women's, which is rare for us. Usually it's flip-flop the other way. So there's a lot of excitement on campus for that game too. So I think our guys understand that we're going to try to play and win the game. It's a home game. You're always trying to win your home games. We have a little bit of a point to prove, I think, at home because we haven't been as good as we want to be in conference at home. So no, I don't think we'll be playing for a tie or looking at other games or fingers crossed with other results. We'll try to take care of our business. We know it's not going to be easy. It certainly will be a tight game, but we're looking forward to it.
Dylan, you want to bring us home?
Yeah, so Coach, Sunday obviously is senior day. It's the last game of the regular season. Guys like Tommy DeVizio and Pablo Avila are going to be honored before the game starts. What has it meant for you to have those guys come through the program, and what is it going to mean to you to have them play at your sack one last time?
Yeah, it's a good question, Dylan. I think, as you know, it's such an interesting time because all of these players that are seniors, have another year of eligibility left. So, we're still hoping that some of these guys will play their last year with us. You got Nick Cruz, who is a rising senior or is a senior, who's got one more year. Tommy DeVizio is a senior. Pablo as well could also come back and play another year. So, as much as we're excited to honor these guys. We also, look forward to having them coming back next year as well. And we also have guys that we're not officially honoring on Sunday because we did it last year. Richie Barry, this will be his last game, college kind of home game, and Vince Borden as well. So it's a group of guys that, except for Richie, the other three of the five guys, Richie and Pablo, came in when I came in, but the other three guys were here when I arrived. They've been great soldiers to our program. They've really jumped on board with what myself and my staff have pushed. They've helped I think, really change the perception of Rutgers soccer. I think people understand, we're a program kind of on the rise and have had some great results already in the last couple of years. So really proud of all the guys that are seniors or graduate students here. But Tommy DeVizio, a local guy, has really bought into what we're doing here. Couldn't be more proud of him. Excellent player, but also just a really good guy and a really good leader. Nick Cruz has had some unlucky injury issues, but again, technically an excellent player, really good guy, loves the game, trains incredibly hard. So we'll miss those guys for sure. And obviously Pablo has some real special qualities as a person, but also as an attacking player. He's been key to us. Again, a guy who's been a little unlucky this year with injuries, and that's been a bit of a theme for us this year. But he'll be ready to go for Sunday, and we're looking forward to those guys, and hoping to have our last home game this year, end on a real positive note, and then use some of that momentum to kind of make some noise in our conference playoffs and beyond. So we're looking forward to the game on Sunday, and happy to have those guys with us for sure.
Thank you so much for hopping on today, guys, and for being around all season. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys.